Well, soon after the launch, South Korea's defense ministry announced that Seoul and Washington would officially start negotiations on deploying the U.S. missile defense system, or known as THAAD. Now, let's go over to our defense ministry. Our national defense correspondent Kim Hyun-bin is standing by. Hyun-bin, give us the latest on the THAAD situation.
Will do, Conn-young. South Korea's defense ministry just said 3 hours ago that Seoul and Washington will start discussions about the deployment of THAAD on the Korean peninsula to better counter North Korea's nuclear and missile threats.
To better counter North Korea's increasing threats, South Korea and the U.S. have agreed to enhance our missile defense and will officially discuss the possibility of deploying THAAD to the Korean peninsula.
The THAAD deployment issue was raised by the commander of the U.S. Forces Korea during an emergency meeting at noon today with South Korean Defense Minister Han Min-gu and U.S. Ambassador to Korea, Mark Lippert.
This was an alliance decision recommended by CFC Commander General Scaparrotti. We also have seen growing support for this voiced in the ROK on the issue of THAAD recently. To that end, it is time to move forward on this issue. We look forward to close consultation and coordination on THAAD, as well as dealing with the threats to peace and stability posed by the DPRK.
The U.S. has 7 THAAD batteries, 4 on the mainland, 1 in Guam, and 2 reserves, one of which could be deployed to South Korea.
Now, Hyun-bin, THAAD, this has been a very touchy subject in the region for years. I think we need for you to explain why that is and why it is so significant about this missile U.S. missile defense system.
Sure thing. China and Russia are strongly against the move as it will give the U.S. an upper hand in regional security, and also because the system could take down missiles aimed at the U.S. and regional allies. Now, the ministry says that if THAAD is deployed to the peninsula, it could defend half of the Korean peninsula if attacked, creating a strong nuclear umbrella. The ministry added that THAAD can not only take down ICBMs, but also Scud, Nodong, and Musan missiles. Now, THAAD is also equipped with a state-of-the-art X-band radar with a range of up to 1,200 kilometers, meaning most of China's key cities, including Beijing, will be exposed.
Well, for the past few years, South Korea has said it will develop its own missile defense system. What's going to happen with that, and who will be covering all the defense costs in deploying that to the peninsula, which is a very touchy subject as well?
Well, the ministry says that it will continue developing its Korea air and missile defense system and emphasizes separate from the deployment of THAAD. Now, the ministry reiterated that KAMD is a low-altitude missile defense system, making it the last tier of aerial defense and is only able to cover a small area. Now, THAAD, on the other hand, is a high-altitude aerial defense system that could cover a large chunk of the Korean peninsula. Now, if that is deployed, the ministry says that Seoul will provide the land and facilities to maintain it, while the U.S. will assume all other costs and maintenance fees. Now, there was speculation that the U.S. will push Seoul to purchase that in the future, but the Korean government says it has absolutely no intention of purchasing the $1 billion system now or in the future. Back to you, Conn-young.